So this week I'm going to keep talking about my favorite subject, real estate on LA's west side, but I'm going to continue looking at some of the separate cities. They're not City of Los Angeles, they're surrounded by the City of Los Angeles, and we definitely consider them part of LA's west side. And last week we talked about Santa Monica. This week, one of my favorite cities is Culver City. If you haven't spent some time down there during the pandemic for dinner, I really highly recommend it, and they've nailed it. Everybody's outside. It's a really fun vibe. They also have a really great farmer's market. There are the steps, which will kill you, but you're rewarded when you get to the top with a view that goes from the ocean to downtown LA, with the city of Beverly Hills and Century City all in the foreground and the hills and the Hollywood sign behind. It's really spectacular, and I highly recommend it. Culver City also has a really interesting history. Because of Bologna Creek, there's been evidence of indigenous people living there for forever. But the next time it really kind of pops onto the history map is actually during the Civil War. In 1861, it was called Camp Latham, and it was a Union Army training ground. Now later that moved down to Long Beach, and we now know it as the Drum Barracks. But it's most famous for being in the movie business, for the Culver Hotel, and the man behind it, Harry Culver, who formed the city in the early 1900s. And ironically, after being a training ground for the Union Army, it was what is called a sundown town. It meant if you weren't white, you needed to be out of town by sundown. It was a whites-only community. It was also, from the start, involved in the movie business. And MGM, Sony Pictures, NPR, and NFL networks continue to have a presence in the community. It is not a sundowner town anymore. In fact, it has the reputation of being one of the most diverse school systems in the United States. It's home to around 40,000 residents, and condos and single families are fairly even. It's 52% single family sales this year versus 48 condos. Sales overall are down 14% overall, but that has mostly been in single family. In terms of condo sales, there's been one less condo sold year to date than last year. In terms of prices, the median price of a condo is in the low $600,000. That's up 3% versus last year, and the average price per square foot is also up about 3%. What's interesting is the market time is way down. It's down 38% for condos. Single family homes are actually down in terms of units sold 23%, and their market time is down 28%. The median price is running around $1,370,000 this year, which is up about 5%. Sorry, I have to check my numbers, make sure I get them right. But the average price per square foot is flat. So what that's saying to me is that the sales mix has changed a little bit this year, and they're getting a little bit larger home selling. And I think part of that might be explained by COVID, where people have just been home long enough and they're looking to have a little bit more room. So everybody's trading to whatever the next bigger space is, it seems these days. So that's what's going on in Culver City. Again, I highly recommend it. It's a great time, fun place to be, so check it out. And there's a lot of new construction going on down there as well. So it's a fun place. I highly recommend it. If there's anything I can answer about Culver City or another town that you'd like me to talk about, or another neighborhood, please let me know. And maybe I'll see you on the steps or at the Boneyard. Take care. Have a great day.